Hey Finxters, and welcome to this video. In this video I will present you my new article on the Finxter blog with the topic how to build your brand as a freelance developer. And this is meant to be an ultimate guide, and I will add more and more content over time. So you might ask a question, why freelance developing in the first place? So actually freelance developing has been like one of the big trends in our times. And why is that? Because it enables you to do remote work. So you can work from home and or from wherever you are, from the beach, even from holidays, from low wage countries where expenses are low. You can work from everywhere in the world. It's like the ultimate idea of globalization, and it's meant to happen. It will just happen. I mean, you can think you can argue against this idea from maybe a political point of view or from an ethical point of view. But I find it very ethical, and I find it no matter. So what my opinion is, whether this is this trend towards freelancing, in contrast to employment, is a good or a bad trend for society. It will happen. I mean, you can have any opinion you want. It's just a trend that is happening fast, and that is disrupting the organization of the world's talents. And how do I know? You just have to look at the revenues of the big companies, freelancing platforms. So maybe let's open one. We'll just open a platform such as, say, Fiverr. Fiverr is one of the two top freelancing platforms. Let's open the chart for Fiverr. You see the stock price here. And if we look at the financial data, this is what I want to show you. The income statement, you see this is like the sales revenues over 3 years, and it grew like, this is like a 50% growth rate per year almost. So they have double-digit growth to between 20 and 50% per year. These are companies that potentially disrupt the organization of the world's talent, and we cannot do anything against it. It is a trend that will happen. And also, there are a lot of advantages for you as a freelance developer if you are interested in joining this trend and reaching success as a freelance developer. So, for example, you have zero time on the road, zero commute overhead. Actually, I work from home for 2 years now, and I love it. I just love these. I spent like partially these 2 hours or so I save in commute compared to my previous job I had at the university. I save 2 hours, and this I just invest in learning and reading and going for walks. It's very calm, and I have time to think. It's just life quality that comes back, and it's also shown that people who live near work. And you cannot, I mean, like the best thing is to live where you work, actually. People who live near work are happier than people who have a large commute time. So I think this is one of the big advantages. You also have independence, so you don't have any boss who will just throw in any meeting and you cannot do anything against it. So this is one big disadvantage if you are an employee, because then there will be a lot of meetings and you cannot do anything against it. I mean, you just have to attend these meetings. There's a boss who tells you have to attend, otherwise we will fire you. So only seldomly will have an employee the level of freedom and independence that a freelance developer enjoys. You have higher hourly rates. This is just a statistical average, is $61 per hour for Python freelancers. You have flexibility, so you can set your own schedule. You can work in the evenings, in the mornings, whenever you want. You have control of your income, so if you need more income, you can work more and get more income. You have, in my opinion, higher job safety. Why is that? Because if you are an employee, you are betting on the success of one single company. Like, you are betting your life, your whole career on the success of this single company. If this company fails, probably you will have a hard time finding an alternative company, and like it will, the failure of the company, even if it is not your fault, will almost certainly reflect back on your success in life. So you're betting on one company, and this can significantly hurt job safety. But if you're a freelance developer, I mean, even if your whole region, even if your whole country goes broke, you still can work for other countries and other companies. At least, so if there is a region in the world which is flourishing and where work exists, you can participate in the success of this region. So you are only dependent on the fact that there are some companies who succeed and some companies who hire persons who do work for them. Okay, so in my opinion, because you work for the global economy, you have much higher job safety. You learn more because you have more stimuli from different clients, different perspectives, so therefore the learning rate is usually much higher as a freelance developer. You have region independent, which I already said. I mean, even if your country goes broke, you can work for companies in other countries or even other countries. You can also do some side hustling and work on the side. So these are like big points. If you are interested in more advantages, you can also check out my article, Freelance Developer to Be or Not to Be, where I also give some disadvantages to avoid being too positive on the matter. But I think still objectively there are huge benefits in freelance developing. So, and if you are a freelance developer, then you may ask, why should I care about personal branding? And now this is the hook I want to give you. I have found, like many person, I myself have worked on freelancing platform and as a freelance developer, and the most successful freelance developers earn $100, $200, even $300 per hour. And if you don't believe me, I will show you in a moment a freelance developer who does it and how they did it. And actually the secret sauce is personal branding. Here's the definition of personal branding. Personal branding is a conscious and intentional effort to create and influence public perception of an individual by positioning them as an authority in their industry. Okay, this is critical. Elevating their credibility and differentiating themselves from the competition to ultimately advance their career, increase their circle of influence, and have a larger impact. So there are different points you need to consider. For example, it must be conscious and intentional. So you must be active in pursuing this personal brand. Yeah, so you must be the creator of your brand. You must know what brand you want to reflect on the marketplace and which you want to like people to perceive. And you must be conscious and intentional about this. You must put in the effort. There's nothing like, I mean, you cannot just do a one-time YouTube video or so and then be done with it. So it is a continuous effort. So the brand better fits your personality so that you can consistently deliver the kind of value and the kind of content that is needed to maintain your personal brand. And the best thing is just to be authentic in your strength. So search for a positioning where you can play your strength and then just play these strengths and be authentic. Because if you are authentic, it's very easy to build a brand because you don't have to do anything else than just being yourself. Okay, so this is like a great thing to do. And therefore it's like I always advocate to spend a lot of time and effort finding your strength and finding your true self, whatever this means. But at least getting closer to the spots where you are naturally good at. Because if you are naturally good at some things, you can actually succeed in a much easier way with these things. So it will be more fun, it will be easier, simpler, you will be more successful, produce more with less. So it's like an 80-20 thing. Just think about your strength and then position yourself to exploit your strength on a regular basis in order to build your personal brand. It's also important to be just different. I mean, of course, if you can reach excellence, so you can reach mastery in any field, you can join the top 5%. You are by definition different because you're a master. Okay, so but oftentimes it's not possible for you to join the top 5%, say in the machine learning field, because it's just so complicated. There are so much competition. There are millions of people pushing into the field. So how can you join the top 5%? Probably you still can, but the question is there an easier way? And the answer is yes. You just, in many cases, you have to be different. So you have to be different and sticky. And if you are different, it's often enough to stay in people's mind and to demand high hourly rates. And also, like a very easy way to differentiate yourself and to create a personal brand is to go for impact. So try to change the world to the better. Try to find a cause that is bigger than yourself, bigger than your like selfish goals and motives, and this will automatically attract other people, and you will automatically be a leader by seeking a purpose that is larger than yourself. This builds the brand automatically. Then it's just an afterthought. What is your brand? If you have a high cause, a high impact cause. So you may ask, why branding? What are the benefits for me if I go into this personal branding thing? So there are a lot of advantages. I mean, there's like the most fundamental law of economics is the law of supply and demand. And if you have a fixed resource, so the supply remains constant, but the demand increases, then prices rise. And these are the prices. These are your prices. So your time is a fixed resource, and if you increase the positivity of the perception of your personal brand, then the demand for your services increases, and then your hourly pay increases, and you will earn more by spending less time. So I mean, this is only one benefit: higher hourly pay. You will also reach higher status. You will get respect from many people. You will be perceived as more attractive by many people. You will have increased opportunities because people will come to you and offer you opportunities to participate in many projects or so. Opportunities you will not get if you wouldn't have built your personal brand, and you will also get an exponentially growing network of supporters, and I think this is really critical. So you will get this network of people who are all supporting you and your personal brand, who are knowing you and trusting you, and these, of course, over time give you more and more opportunities than you can handle. And so there are many advantages of personal branding, and it is one road towards success that you can control. It is a very slow road to success, so it's not easy to build a personal brand. It's very hard, actually, but this is also where the value is, because so few people do it. Few people build a personal brand, and therefore, because it's so hard, and therefore it's like a very sure path to success. If you are in it for the long term, for many years, you build your brand and your reputation. It takes a lot of time to build, and it's destroyed very quickly also if you do the wrong thing. So you must put integrity above everything else if you are building your personal brand. You must be a trustworthy person, yeah. So because if you are a personal brand, people trust you, so you must be worthy of their trust. If you are not worthy of their trust, if you try to exploit them, you will get bitten in the ass. Okay, so it's sorry for the language, but it will be very negative for you. So you should never fake a brand. You should be the brand. Yeah, so you should be very trustworthy. Good. So let's see one big advantage of a great personal brand on Upwork. And I have found this machine learning engineer, Jason Kay, who earns $300 per hour, and this is his profile. And now look at his profile description. If your project involves data, I can help. Here's how. Don't have any data, I'll scrape it from you. Web scraping. It's like a very clear positioning. Have data, but it is very raw, I'll clean it for you. Okay, so it's like very simple value proposition, very simple positioning, but very powerful as well. Have data, but not sure what to do with it, I'll analyze it. Okay, so you have data scraping, data cleaning, data analyzing. That's it. And then machine learning model. Okay, so building a machine learning model. So he has a very clear positioning. He doesn't do any web development. He doesn't do Python scripting. He doesn't do server backend stuff. He doesn't do maybe deep learning or so. So it's just, I mean, he's focusing. He doesn't do writing or anything else. Yeah, he's focusing on a very small niche that he dominates actually, and he earns $300 per hour as a machine learning engineer. And this is like proven. You see he has total earnings more than $100,000. So you see, and also the work history there. One job for 79 hours. He worked for $150 per hour. So he has very powerful positioning and personal branding, and everything fits this brand. I mean, even the way he looks fits his brand. I think he's simply authentic with himself. It's simply his authentic self. It's a very powerful stuff. And you see also like how to credibility, how to get this credibility. So in personal branding, there's always credibility involved. So he gives his testimonials, and people write about him. Jason is a top-tier data scientist. He has some serious ability. He's professional and highly capable. Recommend. So he doesn't fake it. he's a great freelancer and he gets the credibility for it. So he's positioning himself very clearly. By the positioning, he reinforces his skills in his area. He gets the jobs in this area. He gets these attractive clients, and he delivers the value, and the clients give him positive ratings. So it's like a positive cycle that becomes more and more. His personal brand becomes stronger and stronger with each testimonial, with each reinforcement from the outside world. So it's very powerful. He leverages these personal branding effects in a very powerful manner. And then on the other hand, I mean, this is a counterexample, kind of a machine learning engineer earning only $20 per hour. So it's like the 15 times reduced hourly rate. So he needs to work 15 hours, say 2 whole days. He needs to work 2 whole days, and the other person that has to work only 1 hour, and they earn the same amount of money. So it's like more than a 10x difference in hourly ratings. And his personal branding is still, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's still very bad, very raw. He has this me language. So he writes, I highly prefer a contract. So without even giving some value, without positioning himself, he's only talking about himself and what he wants to have from the world. So he has like this mindset of, hey world, give me what I need. And this is like poor positioning, poor branding. So in personal branding, it's very much also about your ability to deliver value to people and to position yourself as a value giver. And so you may ask, okay, how can I nurture my personal brand? And for most people, I mean, you should go into the web. Of course, the web is now becoming more and more dominant in personal branding. You should have a clear brand statement in mind. If you spend the whole next week developing this brand statement, it will be one of the best investments of your time you can have. Yeah, it's like the personal brand statement. It should consider your strength and what you love to do, and what are your higher purposes, and develop this very clear branding statement, and then just live this statement, and the brand will come automatically. But of course, you can also like go for this step-by-step approach. So you formulate your brand statement, you examine your online presence, so you make a list of all the posts, for example, you have put into the world. You remove the threats that may hurt your reputation, where maybe you have done some things that are contrary to your brand statement. That's why it's important that you have your brand statement, so that you can know, that you can manage your brand perception. And then you would simply create more online assets with your brand strategy. So this is like creating an Instagram account, an YouTube account, and so on, and being consistent with your brand. And the best way to be consistent with your brand is to be authentic. If you're authentic, you are like by definition consistent with your brand. So therefore, it's very important to find this sweet spot, this brand statement. So what are you? What is your brand that really fits to your identity? And then you strengthen your brand by creating a habit around this, because if you are doing it once, if you create the content once, it's no use actually. So branding is a cumulative effort. Yeah. So the value of Coca-Cola's brand is because they have invested decades, even hundreds of years, branding, doing these branding strategies, and the benefits, they are cumulative. People trust Coca-Cola because of the consistent effort of branding. So therefore you must be consistent, you must do it all the time, you must develop a habit, like on a daily basis, work on your brand. And that's it. Be authentic, find your brand, do some content research, and that's it. Okay, that's personal branding, and you will reap the benefits for sure. I mean, this I guarantee that if you are going for personal branding, you will reap the rewards very quickly. Okay, so that's it for today. If you're interested in learning more, then check out my book, Leaving the Rat Race with Python. It shows you how to actually develop this freelancing career, to become a freelance developer in the Python sector. The average Python freelancer earns $61 per hour. And also check out my course, how to become a Python freelancer. I will give a link in the description below. It's the leading Python freelancer course in the world. So check it out. Hundreds of students have already checked it out and are now pretty successful on the Upwork platform. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Bye.